Testing, testing. Is this on? Yeah, it's on. Okay. This video is going to be a black screen for the time being, but I'm going to be talking about my opinions on Screamy Fox. So, here goes nothing. Jackson, or Screamy Fox, would be considered my friend if he didn't cause a lot of problems for nearly everyone. And what I mean by nearly everyone, I mean by pretty much everyone who saw his channel from the past to now. He was like alright at first, and then he decided to make things kind of worse for himself for his content-wise. Surprisingly. So, to put aside what I'm talking about, or just explain basically what the fuck I'm talking about, I'm going to explain basically how I thought this one person caused a lot of problems, not just for me, causing a lot of problems for everyone else who was his friends. Bugsy, Florida, who's Archie, by the way, I think. Adrian, I think. And a bunch of other people, including Reaper and Mark. Reaper's at the end of her tether here, along with me, because, let's be honest, I'm giving him one final chance. But I have a feeling he's going to fuck it up in less than a week if he doesn't get himself back into gear and restrict himself from doing dog shit. Which is why I'm going to have to bring up some updates on my channel. Number one, if anyone's curious, yes, Zoe and Tails was together. But I decided to change it up to them being just separate people. They were into rat and all that, but they won't have any love intentions, because after what happened with Screamy Fox and his other two girlfriends, which turned out to be a fucking mess, I made a decision to do that in behind his back. They didn't get much of a choice, because if I just said it now, he will be pissed. Second of all, since I basically done that, that means they're both killable, blah 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 blah, and etc. The kids no longer exist in this AU because I'm so tired of this bullcrap and all that. I try my best to ignore his bullshit, but after the lesbian incident, which caused me to question what the fuck happened, I was like, he's gonna do it again, sooner or later. Which, unfortunately, he did, and can't seem to get himself out of trouble. He's like G5 Iguazu, who, and I quote, is pretty much the most saltiest character in Armored Core 6. Like, he's extremely salty. Bro does not want to lose. He runs his mouth off, saying some things, and then get his ass folded by 621, who had the same augmentation. And let's be honest, 621 was not in some shiny AC. He's in the AC that you start with, who, let's just say, is kind of got its own weakness for getting staggered over 200 times. And I'm trying to complete a game, or one chapter, or the whole story, depending on which ending, with just the standard AC, and that's it. Difficult part is, try to avoid getting staggered, because that's when you end up getting killed a lot. I'm not changing any of the parts of the AC, only changing the weapons if necessary. That's it. Back to what I was saying about Screamy Fox. When I talked about the lesbian incident, let's just say I was the one who managed to convince his dumbass to finally understand that what he did was a complete fuck up. Then, which basically sort of resolved the situation. However, that didn't seem to last long, as he kind of kept on getting into a depressed state when he breaks up with his girlfriend, or his girlfriends, which I find ironic that he doesn't seem to let it slide. He makes a big massive drama about it, a big massive one. Reaper and Mark try to ignore this, but I'm so tired of basically saying that they won't take the bullshit. They are trying to avoid it and all that, trying to avoid conflict. And I'm the only one who seemed to have to drag my own ass to basically do the speaking for them. In other words, Screamy Fox is like a fucking child when one of his toys get broken. I'm not kidding. As soon as his toy gets broken, he makes a goddamn tantrum about it, and things go bad from there. And boy, trust me, that's exactly how things literally goes down. That's not fully accurate, but just understand what I'm trying to say. And which is why basically comes to my other question that I never thought I'd have to bring up, that I kind of have to blame the thick design OCs that now Gotcha is now basically influenced by. The two people who's responsible for this, who I have to say I kind of blame, is among the Tricky and Monsoon. What the fuck? So, what the hell am I talking about? Who the fuck are these two people? Well, Among the Tricky is known for making that Sophia OC. That's thick and has the big rear. However, he kind of extended and made the process lasting longer. The trend would have died if it wasn't extended, but stupid enough, we live in a world where, and I quote, bullshit doesn't matter anymore, like, at all. So back to what I was saying. He kind of extended the problem all so much, and if someone says, why am I talking about this? Well, you see, here's a thing that I think everyone might have noticed on my channel on the past, which I kind of don't now, but I will end up doing it back eventually, is that I end up de-thicking an OC, most likely the legs. Because here's the thing about me, I hate the proportion that it's given, because if I go onto the actual skeleton model, and I quote, some of them would have their actual legs shrunken down and out of proportion, which Reaper tends to do half the time. So I'm having to fix the actual chassis build just so it's actually working properly. Then there are OCs that basically make no sense, and they end up sacrificing the thigh part for the crotch area, which, let's be honest, at first I thought was a good idea, and then I realized it wasn't a good idea. And then we come to the part that I hate the most, using wing parts as the actual thighs. Seriously? The wings are meant to be for the wings, not the other way around. And I'm sorry, but I hate it. Because, and I quote, which someone said on Discord, that it's literally making the character a statue. You can't move the head as much or it will break the mold. You can't move the legs at all or you'll break the mold. And if you do have to move the leg, you have to move the wing parts to make sure it fucking works. A lot of dog shit. And to make matters worse, this is what we're stuck with. A lot of things that don't make any sense to me, in my own opinion, is that what's the point making a thick OC if it can't even move its legs? Essentially, you have to put them in a still picture and just have to drag them across as if they're a mini figure. Let me put it in a comparison, okay? My style, even though it basically has less detail, is a little bit more easy to use. Doesn't require having to use the face as the breast area or using the wings as the thigh area, okay? I use the parts that's actually connected to the actual body part. And if it means I have to sacrifice one part just to make sure it bloody works, I'm willing to do that over the absolute carnage that's basically everyone's suggestions. I'm willing to make compromises. But these guys don't like that. They want to make sure that the OCs can actually move or be beautiful. Which comes to my next opinion, comparison. So how do I put this in my point of view? The thick OC style that everyone sort of uses is like Warhammer kits. Primarily, kits that look good on paper, have zero articulation whatsoever. And if they do have articulation, they'll most likely have, which is most likely the Titans, apparently, will most likely have articulation in the waist, and sometimes in the forearms, and maybe in the arms, and maybe the head, but that's it. That's the only articulation you have. While my style is like 38-minute mission kits, which have a lot more articulation. They're not staying still like a brick. And what's not a 30-minute mission kit is a model that basically stands still like a statue. Something that this type of thing happens a lot. On another update, I'll be de-thicking Zoe to the point that she's no longer thick. She'll be slimmed down to be a balanced OC design. And I'm only doing this because, well, let's be honest, sure, the design is based on Screamy Fox or Jackson's design, but I'm not going to use that style anymore. I'm going to sort of adjust the other parts to make it balanced instead of using the style that he went with, along with his version of Tails, who for some strange reason has longer arms and shorter legs. What the hell's going on from this? On the contrary, on that part, I will also make sure that Tails actually has a decent design. Instead of having it literally basically only parts that makes him look like similar to his original design, but only having basically the parts that makes it look like that, I'll be changing some of the parts that make him look like he's actually wearing clothes instead of just having complete fur. I'm sorry, but I'm doing it that way. It's a lot cleaner. Anyhow. The reason why I'm basically talking about all these issues is because, well, Screaming Fox loves to make sort of like 18 plus content while making it almost like a Peggy 12 type of content or age 12 plus. That's it. That's the thing. And he keeps on shipping Tails with Zoe, who I'm not going to reveal, who I'm going to say loud and clear, have the age of, and I quote, from the canon AU, from the canon universe, which apparently confirms that Tails is about 12 and Zoe is about 8. What? God, this is bad. And that's just like the least of the problems. And I might as well add this on top, just so I can get something out of that. Way. Most of his friends, along with Mark, who no longer is his friend, are kind of downright bad when it comes to thick girl OCs. And when I say downright bad, I literally mean it. Bugsy is the only one that seems to be sort of balanced and all that. I look at these thick OCs and two things come to my mind. Decently okay, but a fucking statue in my own opinion. How do I put this? The thick OCs are like artworks that should never be tempered, but because they're OCs, you want to make them look like they're alive, which just leaves a bunch of problems when it comes to movement, and you're just going to have to make some adjustments that don't make it look like it's broken apart like a pile of glass. Another reason why I'm talking about this is because he caused so many incidents when it came to the lesbian problem, that even I had to drag my own ass to try and get him to calm down, but also try to get him to understand that this is this. You have to accept what it is. I will say that Greg didn't really make the situation any better. I'm going to be honest, he actually made it worse. He technically did, because he made Screaming Fox almost lose his damn marbles. But, out of all the bullshit, I have enough balls to give him one more chance. But that's it. One more motherfucking chance. My only issue is, how long is that chance going to last? Is the big question. When I say the big question, as in, it's a question of, will he learn or will he not? Probably he won't, but I'm hoping he learn how to control his anger, his emotions, when the time comes along. And I mean by including his anger, because I'm telling you, if he doesn't learn from his anger, it's just going to be rinse and repeat all over again. Then we got Convoy, who I mean to bring up because this is out of question, along with Spidey. Sorry, but I mean to bring this up. Who caused a bunch of problems simultaneously. I don't know how the fuck I put this, but before that, he caused an incident where basically I didn't even go after him or anything, but his complaint was that I killed his fictional girlfriend, who I literally put into time-space. I explained this on my community post, but to be precisely accurate, his complaint was that I killed his girlfriend OC, yet his girlfriend doesn't even exist, or if it does, I don't know who the hell she is. Other than time has been frozen in time and space. I did bring it up before having to, quote, kill my channel off and respawn it in a different format, but still, I don't get what's wrong with this Convoy guy. And his conflict with Spidey basically made the situation even worse, because when I told Spidey to deal with this guy in a way that won't cause a problem, Bud literally just couldn't take it, like, at all. The situation's been resolved, but if anyone's listening to it, you have to understand that this shit happens nearly half the fucking time when I'm trying to goddamn relax. And I find it ironic that every time I'm around, shit literally goes bad. Half the time. And when I try to avoid it, I'm always dragged into the shit to try and resolve it half the time. Seriously? Now, the only time I can only spare and give Screaming Fox a let it slide if he was targeted deliberately, which is happening right now. He can't be left alone for 5 minutes. So for those that basically are after him, the situation has been dealt with. He's already basically making sure that he doesn't try and fuck it up. So drop it slide, or I'm going to damn lose my own sanity. Some friends have eventually abandoned him and just let him go, while some are trying to stay with him and just coping to the situation. Guys, for those that support him and all that, it's not going to end well for you guys. But if you want to stay with him, that's your guess. Be my guess. No one's going to stop you, but eventually you will see what happens. No one can stop you from what you're doing. Anything else I need to say? Well, nothing much. Other than other things, blah blah blah, this and that. I'm only talking about things that I want to get off my chest. Screaming Fox causing problems, Convoy this and that. Everyone wants to use this thick OC style, which, let's be honest, caused a lot of horny bastards to make fucking NSFW on fucking Twitter on Gotcha. This includes Mark. I swear to fucking God. Either way, I'm done with him if the situation goes bad again. And if it has to resolve with Screaming Fox causing a problem, I swear to God I'm going to lose it. However, that only happens if he's done it. If you drive him to do something, then it's a different situation. I swear to God. Anyway, that's me for today. I'll see you guys later in a couple of weeks, because I'm taking a massive break. I'm going to be muting YouTube for the time being, because I'm telling you loud and clear, I need a break. Heck, I'll stay away from Discord for a time being. And yeah, I'm back onto that hellhole. So yeah, see you guys later.